Or you have heard by now that the Trump Organization CFO, the Chief Financial Officer, Alan Weisselberg, was granted immunity in this ongoing Michael Cohen probe. Now, a lot of people are reading into that. What the heck is that about? Are they looking at just business transactions that could be dating back decades there in the Trump Organization? No one knows. There's a lot of tongues wagging and people wondering what could be next and who could be next. The read from Charlie Gasparino knows the Trump Organization quite well. But you and I were chatting during the break. For example, two things I noticed. One is that this is a confidant for better than 4 decades. And secondly, the markets don't seem to care for the time being.
For now.
For now. So what do you make of it?
Give you a little story of back last year, end of 2017. And I'm pretty sure I reported on your show that Trump was telling people that he thinks the Russian collusion investigation was going to be ended by the end of 2017. He said that to a mutual friend of ours, he and I, who told me, and that mutual friend told him, don't be so certain about that because this may not be, Mueller may not be looking at just collusion. He may be diving into your business practices, which have always been somewhat obtuse and some would say shady. At the
very least, complicated.
Complicated, right? And esoteric. We're trying not to say too many pejoratives here. But, that's what he said. He said if they look into there, who knows where this is going to go. And
well, that would be a kick, though, with all this stuff and hunt for, Russian collusion and all that, that this ends up just being about business transactions, all that go beyond Russia or any of that.
Yeah, you can make that case that it's unrelated to the Russian.
What I'm saying is that all this stuff cropped up in the whole discovery process.
Right, because remember, he was lusting to do business in Russia for years.
Right.
So I could see where they're drawing connections. Remember, back he moved it weirdly, people would thought at the time, moved the Miss America pageant to Russia. I think it was in 2014.
Miss USA.
Miss USA.
There's a big difference.
Okay, well, you seem like an expert here. But anyway, he moved it there, and people were like, why is he moving it to this, some mall in Moscow, outside of Moscow? And remember, he was tweeting out, maybe I'll meet my new best friend, Vladimir Putin. So we know that he had some lust to do business in Russia, to meet with Putin, dating back before this whole thing happened. Remember, even during a campaign, I believe it was Michael Cohen working through another individual who actually served time in jail, Felix, or cut some deal to avoid jail, Felix Sater, to create a Trump hotel in Moscow. So there's a lot of Russian connections there. So that's where it kind of opens it up into his business dealings. And again, like I said, his business dealings were, if we want to be nice about it, were complicated. Notorious skinflint, a guy that was known to, stiff his people he owed money to. And this is all Donald Trump. It's all been out there.
But you don't think that it could veer completely beyond Russia? That all of a sudden, this is illegal. What you did here is illegal. What you did. And it never involves collusion at all. It never involves even the Russians at all.
I don't know. He wanted to do business so badly in Russia that, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But
no, all I'm saying is that, I could be very wrong, but I've seen how investigations veer wildly off course, as I've mentioned many times on this show. And this is what happens.
Yeah, it does. And but the question is he a sleazy businessman that deserves this? And I will tell you, if you read, try to look at the Michael Cohen situation.
Right.
Try to look at it objectively. What he did with Michael Cohen in terms of agreeing to the payment of these women is it's pretty sleazy. I mean, it's not something you really kind of want.
The question is whether it's illegal. But let me switch real quickly now to what's happening with Tesla and what's the latest.
Something odd is going on here. Elon Musk is hiring all these bankers. Right? He's hired, as we reported first to break yesterday, Morgan Stanley. He's already retained Goldman Sachs. From what I understand, he has Silver Lake. But the company has not yet hired a banker. The independent board has not yet hired a banker, which means to me that this thing isn't in the final stages of funding secured to go private. This thing is in the third inning that we need funding secured. That's one thing. The other thing is this. I know J.P. Morgan, at least for now, is sitting this thing out. The biggest bank, one of the most reputable firms on Wall Street, they did represent the Saudis in their 5% stake of Tesla, but they're sitting this out. The other thing is this. He can't really issue debt to do a buyout of the company. It's very hard, given his credit rating, given where his current bonds are trading now. He's got to find equity. If you look at it, if the Saudis really aren't interested, and a lot of people say they're not, at least for now, Where's he going to get the money? Who's going to write the checks? The Chinese? Is CFIUS going to allow the Chinese? That's the U.S. government agency that needs to approve.
Well, if you're right, he's going to have a lot of trouble going private.
I'm just saying that if you just add everything up, I'm not in the room. Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley are very able bankers. They may know a lot of people that can write checks in South America. I don't know if you can get it from China. I mean, that sounds like, I can't imagine the Trump administration is going to approve that deal if they won't let H&A buy the little tiny Skybridge capital of Anthony Scaramucci. Why would they allow this? You start thinking, where are the sources of funding? Unless the Saudis are going to write a big check. And my sources say they've not shown an inclination as of now. That might change in 10 minutes, but as of now, to buy the whole thing, to write that check. So this thing sounds, it sounds like a pipe dream for now. And again, I don't see where the bankers are on Tesla itself and the independent committees. We're going to have to see. If you do a buyout, just so you know, just going private, if you talk to anybody that took their companies private, the individual, say like a Michael Dell, right? When he went private, he had his set of bankers. But then Dell, the company, had a set of bankers. Then the board's independent committee that's leading the privatization has to have a set of bankers.
They always think it's easier going private, which is why maybe Michael Dell is considering going public again.
Well, he did a good job retrofitting the company. And by the way, he is a really good CEO.
He's a genius.
And he's a genius. And he's a,
As are you.
He's not a guy that's tweeting out stuff about 420,
You're a loser. Rhymes with loser.
But anyway,
okay.
I think we're in the third inning here. It's not funding security.
Baseball is 9 innings.
Right.
So we're 1/3 through.
And plus you have the SEC investigation.
Yeah, and you could always go into extra innings.
Right. If the SEC
so then
gets
it's less than 1/3 through.
What do you think of Trump? You think he survives all this?
I ask the question.
You're such a wimp.
Thank you.